Hey!
Oh, we're live! What
Wow.
up, social media? That was
I wish I had that much energy, Jeff. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty good.
when you're pent up in a comic book store all day with no customers to talk to, you just build up energy. You just build up.
I have a stress ball that I now bring around with me. I'm just like constantly squeezing this poor ball. I don't know how it hasn't exploded yet,
Oh
but
no!
it's
Well,
great.
we had Carl from Carl's Comics. Looks like hey,
Lloyd,
Lloyd's here.
It's me.
welcome.
Oh, you're way too chilled out for this conversation. Oh
It's
no!
Friday, man.
Oh, it is Friday.
Yeah,
I don't know. The days are all blurred together. Let's be
they
honest.
are. That's true.
How's it going though, man? Good to see you.
Good, man. Yeah, just trying to stay busy, try not to go crazy, really. I think that's important. But yeah, staying busy, getting a routine in, and sticking to it, really.
Cool.
Yeah.
We had Carl from Carl's Comics, and then his computer crashed. So
Oh,
we're waiting to see if he'll be rejoining us because he's our comic fan for the. Oh, I think he's here.
is he?
Hey!
Hey, there we go. Now it's a party.
Yeah, Carl. What's going on, Carl?
I'm relaxing. How about you?
My man.
That's it. That's what you got to do. It's the new age, the age of relaxing. Awesome. Well, I've got all my guests here, which is great. It's good to see all you guys. Anthony and I were just. You want to show them what you drew?
Oh, I was saying you don't even need me to be in here right now. I can just drop my thumb right up in here. Hey,
Listen,
guys,
man.
good to see y'all. Been hanging out, been busy. But,
Wait,
okay.
I'm confused. Did Anthony leave and then another Anthony came back?
No, same one. One of the same.
Still me.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
worry.
like Anthony never left. It's
Listen, apart from the eyebrows, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror.
Cool.
So what's going on, Jeff? Tell us what's going on in your part of the world right now.
Yeah, let me be a 1/4 professional for a moment and say,
okay.
welcome Facebook and YouTube and for the playback other social media platforms to the third episode of We Are the Mags. Still a working title. Probably not going to change at this point because I've got too much other things for you now.
Just go with it.
Yeah, we're going to go with it. And with us today we have. I got to take a deep breath before I do all this. Owner of Dewey's Comics, owner of the Kubert School, assistant editor at Dynamite Comics, and artist himself, Anthony Marques. Oh, two.
Not an editor anymore. I stopped being an editor.
Oh,
yeah, that was a while ago, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna scratch that out.
No, but they're all great. They're all great.
Add it to the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Blooper
right.
Oh, I'm not that professional.
Really happy to be here. Glad to chit chat with you. You're always a good dude to talk to. So I'm always happy to get a chance to talk. So it's a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. And also joining us is Kubert School. Wow, that's a big container of water. Nobody stays hydrated like Lloyd does. Kubert School instructor, artist himself, Lloyd Briggery. Is that pronounced?
That's right. Yeah. So no, that's good. So now I'm the admissions officer at the Kubert School, but I taught a couple of night classes last school year, which that was really fun. But my work's mostly doing events and doing admissions now, so it's cool. It's a lot of fun.
The real fun stuff.
Yeah, well, listen, I get to talk to cool people and have cool conversations all the time, so it could be way worse.
Oh, you're such a flatterer. And last but never least, the man. No introduction needed. Carl from Carl's Comics. Right there.
Yeah.
Carl, can you yell or throw something?
No.
You know what? I'll take it. That was great. Awesome.
Yeah.
That was like a sad cow. It was really.
That was awesome. So here we are. What are we reading these days, guys?
Ooh.
We
Carl, you
just
want to go
got,
first? Well, kick us off, Carl. Tell us what you're reading these days.
we just got Spider-Man #6, so we're gonna read that.
Carl went right for the big gun. Carl was like, I don't care what any of these guys have to say. I'm pulling out Spider-Man #6.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like the show should just end right there. There's nothing the three of us are going to say that's going to be nearly.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's been real. I'll take my water and go drink it.
Okay, so Spider-Man #6. What else have you been reading?
Some 3D comics from the 50s.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Wow.
Oh,
All right.
Wow, that's cool.
I remember getting a reprint of that, like during the '90s when Superman Red and Blue came out, and they did a reprint of that, and it was like in a bagged version of it. It was really a cool little gimmicky thing that the DC did back then.
And here's a trivia question about 3D comics. Who created them?
Oh, the first one was Joe Kubert.
Yeah.
Hey, come on now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Carl with the sliding in the trivia question, but you had it, man. You caught that one. That's great.
Listen, Joe's our guy. He's our guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. What about you, Lloyd? What you reading anything?
Yes. So what I'm currently reading is Jeff Johns' run of Superman.
So good.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm actually just in massive reread mode. So I've gone through I keep looking over here because my collection's right there. But it's about time that I read Kingdom Come again, like that time of year, just to be inspired. I always tell people, if you've never read comics before and you really want to know just kind of the essence of good versus evil and capes, that's the perfect graphic novel to, really show you. So, and then there was one book. So it's an interesting book. It is technically a graphic novel, but the guy he's a fine artist. His name's Greg Manches, and the book's called Above the Timberline, and it's really a collection of oil paintings that he had, and he kind of looped a story into it, and it's like this kind of sci-fi meets polar exploration in this post-apocalyptic world that the poles shifted, and all of our cities are under the snow, and he's searching after his father. It's really cool. Wow. But it's just a lot of really cool paintings and kind of captions next to it, and it feels like an old. Do you remember that movie Sky Captain: World of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Kind of steampunkish. It's dope. It's
that's awesome.
Fun, so
anybody who knows me will tell you that I am immediately drawn in the second you say it's post-apocalyptic. I don't know what it is. Just anything. It could be the worst book in the world, but if you start off your thing with, well, so it's just post-apocalyptic, and I'm just done. I'm reading it. Where is it? Give it to me.
Good. Good deal.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Cool. I'm at Under the Timberline.
Yeah. No, Above the Timberline.
Above the Timberline. Okay. I'm gonna write that one down.
Here, you know what? Hold on. Let me grab it real quick. I'll just grab it. Let me just grab it. Here's the cover. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's kind of horizontal. It's cool. I like it a lot.
All right. What about you, Mr. Marques? What are you reading? Anything cool these days?
Let's see. I don't really get a chance to read as many comics as I want to.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Everybody was always like, "Oh, well, you own a comic shop. You read every single book that comes out." It's like, no, man. No, it doesn't work that way. You know, a lot of times, you're doing a lot of the business. But I did pick up 7 to Eternity because I always hear really great things about this. I'm very much looking forward to reading it. It's funny because I will bring books home and I put them in spots so this way I will read them, and I never read them. But I really am making an effort to read this. I'm only a few pages in, but it looks beautiful. The artwork's incredible. So I'm very excited about that. But a lot of times, it's either finding stuff that I've, one of the cool things about having a shop or having a log of back issues is that you can go through and kind of pick up old stories that you never had a chance to read. So when Carl was pulling out Spider-Man 6 or something like that, yeah, that's awesome because you get a chance to kind of go through those old stories again, and it's a lot of fun. But I do enjoy newer comics. I have to say, in recent years, I really loved Samney and Wade's Captain America run that they did. It was like 6 issues, but man, that was some of my favorite comics ever. I just thought that was beautiful. Samney's artwork is incredible always anyway. So I always recommend him to everyone. And I could tell you a fun little story about that from when I was back at DC Comics as an editor. And trying to get him to draw Superman. I wanted him to draw Superman horribly. But unfortunately, I couldn't push that forward. We had some pushback on it, but I would have loved to have seen Sam Neill do Superman. And I think he actually wound up doing a digital Superman short for a little bit. If you ever get a chance from Superman Adventures, take a peek. It's beautiful stuff, and man, it just hammers home the fact that that guy should be doing Superman.
Oh, yeah, I always kind of draw. I don't know what it is about it, but like his artwork and no, what?
Doc Shaner?
No, what is his name? Darwin Cook. Darwin Cook's art always, like his Samney's artwork always makes me think about Darwin Cook, and then I get sad because Darwin Cook is.
Well, Darwin Cook was incredible. I mean, his artwork is so powerful, and it's. I never like using the word retro. I don't think that that's really fair, but it's a great callback to a little bit of a simpler style, and he does such a beautiful job of it. I mean, he comes from that Tim Tree, and even before that, I mean, guys like Samney and Chainer. I mean, you can trace them back to the influence of Alex Toth, particularly. It's that sort of really beautiful use of blacks and shapes. And Toth, man, that guy was a pure master. I mean, if you ever get a chance to go back and take a look at some of his stuff, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So anybody that doesn't know about Alex Toth, do yourselves a favor and type it into Google and find out.
There you go. We got a couple shout outs. Sean Wolf says hi. Neil Amtrak says hi. Bill O'Donnell wants to know what you're reading aside from the rest of the room.
From the rest of the room.
Apparently you're reading the rest of the room. And Bill O'Donnell shouted out Mike Cho. Said Mike Cho is awesome. Yeah. I just lost the post-it. Well, you know Mike Cho though. Mike Cho's stuff is really great. Cool. So I lost my train of thought. We'll go on to the next topic. Anthony, you have a Green Hornet book coming up.
Yeah, man. I've been working like a crazy person. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I mean, I'll share some pages with you if you want to see. I don't know. Nobody's going to be able to see much right now. Actually, I could probably share my screen and I could show stuff if you want to see some things. You get a first look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see here. You know what? Nah, I'm just going to show you guys some pencils. It'll be a little bit blurry. I apologize. Okay. So let's see here. Trying to make sure you guys can see. So the first page, you're not going to be able to see too much. It's just some light shining down through these holes. And then as you start to come through, you see these guys peeking out. And they're like, what's going on? And then you see this masked guy peeking out through this little crack.
Whoa, very cool.
Yeah, nice.
You go into a double-page spread of this guy who may or may not be inspired by Sergeant Rock.
Magic.
yelling that they got to blow up this place out there, and the clouds are forming the word "the end." So that's really cool.
That's cool.
And then
was that the last page of the book? Did you just spoil the book for us?
no, that's pages 2 and 3. So then,
very cool.
Page 4, you have this interaction going on, and you haven't seen the characters yet. And Green Hornet's talking to Kato, and Kato's talking back to him, and you see Green Hornet reaching into his jacket, and the little hand reaches out and grabs him by the finger. And then Green Hornet leans down and gives this little kid a kiss on the forehead.
Whoa!
And then you finally get the big reveal that the Green Hornet is protecting this baby, and Kato are protecting this little child who's the government's after because the baby may or may not have special abilities.
You should make the baby look like Milo.
Like
That's a
Milo?
little Easter egg.
They're all trying to get the kid because he may or may not have special abilities, and they could view it as a weapon. But the Green Hornet believes in, keeping that baby free and never having to be subjected to horrible things. So some really cool stuff, man. So I'm really excited. Scott Lobdell's writing it. It's supposed to come out in June. I'm not exactly sure, with everything going on, whether it's going to be June now or October or next June or what's happening. But
2025. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I just got to keep on pushing the pencil no matter what. So I'm very excited about it.
I mean, as long as you keep turning in pages, it's fine, right?
I would be drawing even if I wasn't getting paid, so it doesn't make a difference to me. I love drawing. I've loved drawing since I was a little kid. I mean, even before I could, my two loves, eating and drawing. So I was eating crayons and drawing at the same time as a baby. So, I knew then.
Ooh, I think that's a whole separate show we're going to have to focus on is Anthony eating crayons and drawing and the biology behind all of those.
That's why I'm bald. No.
Speaking
Lloyd, are you frozen or are you just sitting frighteningly still right now?
Who?
Lloyd. Is Lloyd frozen?
Well, I don't know. He took a photograph and put it there. He was like, I need to go for a walk real quick.
He was like, it'll take Jeff 45 minutes to figure it out.
He's doing his Drax impression. He's doing his Drax impression.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's definitely frozen.
That's pretty good, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a really good, just very, stoic deep in thought look on Lloyd's face, where he's very intently listening to what's going on.
He's disapproving.
No, he's totally frozen.
Yeah. It would have been great if he was doing this as a prank for a little bit, but now I'm just like, nah, I don't think so. It's all right.
Well, I think he had cut out before, and then I noticed he had signed back in with a different device. And so I very casually did a switcheroo with Carl at the bottom of the screen. But then Lloyd froze again. So, all right. So we're going to go. Carl, how's it going, bud? Do you miss not coming to the comic shop?
Oh, yeah.
No pressure, man. No pressure. Cool. Well, we miss having you guys here. That's for sure.
Speaking about drawing, while we're still on the topic, me and my parents have really been enjoying the drawing classes at the Kubert school.
Oh, thanks, man.
There you go.
Those are a lot of fun. So what we've done at the Kubert school, and I'm not trying to jump in, Carl, so you can always just tell me, all right, that's enough of you, mister. No more talking. But so what the Kubert school's been doing is for everybody that's out there, we know it's a little crazy at the moment, and we know that times can be a little nuts, especially with everybody who's got little kids, or you're all just anybody's just looking to blow off steam somehow at this moment in time, because being locked up inside can be a little bit challenging for everybody. So what we've done is we've got really fantastic artists together, and we've created free Saturday sessions for anybody that wants to learn how to draw. We have it going live on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. So all you got to do is at 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings is log right into Facebook or right onto YouTube. Go check out our page, and we have live sessions. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we've got Lee Weeks who's going to be joining us. He's going to be teaching everybody how to draw Batman. So, for 1 hour, you get instruction from Lee Weeks. I think that's pretty great. So I appreciate it, Carl. Thank you very much.
No offense to Jeff, but it makes me forget not going to East Side Mags.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh man.
Jeff, I'm gonna get you on there so this way now you won't forget. I'll make sure I put it on there.
I'm getting sandbagged on my own show here. Oh man. Woo. Well, that's all right because Milo took Carl. Carl's got a spot in our kids section, right on the floor where every time him and his dad come in, Carl barely says hi, but will always be found in his spot. And we joke about stanchioning off a section of the floor in the kids section, and saying with a little reserved for Carl sign.
That's awesome.
And one day we're gonna do it. I promise. When
Now Milo's challenging me.
Lloyd is back. Yay!
We'll see how long it lasts.
But so Carl's got his own little spot. And then yesterday I brought my little guy Milo by the shop.
Oh.
And I got a really cool picture of Milo sitting in Carl's spot that I posted, but that I also sent to Carl's dad because I wanted Carl's dad to see someone was keeping Carl's spot warm for him while we're shut off to the public. So
that's really sweet, man. You run a great store, Jeff. Honestly, I've told a lot of people that I think you have a absolutely fantastic shop. You're really community oriented and you take good care of your customers. And you're a great guy. And you know, Montclair is very lucky to have you or anybody that goes through.
Oh, here we go. Better away. Oh,
honestly, Jeff, I wouldn't say if I didn't think it was true. I really do think you have a fantastic comic shop.
No, I know, man, and I appreciate that. And believe me, you're one of the most highly respected people from this side in the comics industry. Just not just as an artist, but as a human being, man.
That's kind. Thank you.
You're great, and you've lent me an ear as somebody who's new to the industry, and you know you've helped me out and given me some good advice, and or at least just sat there and politely listened to me.
I tell everybody, you know, to anybody that achieves like a certain level of success. I mean, I've had some wonderful opportunities to work with really great folks, and I've gotten to know some incredible people that we all really look up to and admire in this industry. And I always tell them, I'm like, I didn't do anything. I don't do anything. Like, it's all of what you do, that gets you to where you are. So, I mean, I could always say, hey, here's a job or here's something that's really cool that we could work on together. But it's because of what you do in life. It's your work ethic. It's who you are as a human being that makes you interesting and a good person. And so anybody that I feel like accomplishes something, yes, I do believe you get help along the way. I can see that, but you have to be a good person and good things will happen to you. So anything that someone accomplishes, it's because they work hard.
I agree, man.
Also, I always enjoy going there too.
Yeah.
I know that I have my spot there, as you've said before, and I always enjoy reading there. And also, I don't know if he's come by yet, but I've told J. Scott Campbell to shop there.
He hasn't stopped by just yet. And I think it might be a little while before Mr. Campbell does show up. But I saw that you very casually dropped that if he's looking for Scooby Apocalypse issues, that East Side Mags is a great place. And I appreciate that, man. That was really good. Like, you just slid it in there, and J. Scott Campbell just went, "Oh, okay."
Right on.
But it's out there, man, and that's what's important. Is he heard the name, so hopefully it'll stick with him. I also learned on Twitter that Jimmy Palmiotti was disappointed that our web store doesn't have back issues listed.
Oh,
sorry, Jimmy. There's just too many back issues for me to, post. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. So, all right. So now that Lloyd's back, Lloyd,
yes.
You've been working on anything, drawing anything, painting something?
No, I definitely have. So this whole 6 fan art thing that's been going on. Everybody's posting like, "Hey, tell me 6 things to draw." So I wanted to take a different approach on it, so leave it to me to like complicate something that's just kind of fun and simple. But I chose 6 characters that I would never draw. And people I might have gotten 60 different recommendations. But it really kind of inspired me to just try it, because why not, man? We're locked away. When am I ever going to get another chance to draw Dick Tracy? You know what I mean? Like, when am I ever going to get a chance to draw Lone Wolf and Cub, even though it's one of my favorite graphic novels from Japan, but I'll never draw it. So I made this list. I'm about halfway finished with it. And what I'd like to do is, I mean, as a freelance artist, I think you're always trying to hack the whole like hustle of when do you post, how often do you post, and just what do you do with social media. And so I am storing up a lot of art so that once I start posting, it won't stop. Because I don't want to get in that trap of like I'm only drawing so that I can post. You know what I mean? So I'm essentially stockpiling right now, and I've actually made several other lists of the whole 6 fan arts, because I think as an artist, you're kind of happy when the piece looks the way you want it to look. But I think when I get really happy, like with my own art, is when I can tell like I've gotten better. And the way I can tell I've gotten better is I can see things differently. Like I can see things I couldn't have seen before. And that's happening through these new pieces. And I think mainly it's just because I'm drawing stuff I never would have drawn before. And so it's challenging me to look at different things from different perspectives. So it's actually really, really, really rewarding to be able to draw it and like see the growth and like from one piece to the next piece. And then now it gives me the confidence to try a new technique on the next piece. And, it's like, it's cool. So I'm happy about where the journey is. So yeah.
And
Nice.
This is just a question for you about Lone Wolf and Cub. How similar is it to the Mandalorian?
So early on in Lone Wolf and Cub is very similar because the child is an infant, and he's pretty much useless. And so he's just, kind of like a living pillow. As the series progresses, so yeah, I'm actually only, I want to say 2/3 of the way through the Mandalorian, and so I haven't finished it yet. But he's obviously a little bit more active and more comfortable with the Mandalorian and all that kind of stuff. So with Lone Wolf and Cub, and I've read probably all of it. The kid grows up. They take him through like he's a 1-year-old, now he's a 3-year-old, and by the time he's like 3 years old, he's pretty lethal. And it's a pretty dark story. It's a samurai who's on this warpath, and his family was killed except for his little infant boy. And he told the boy, choose the sword and I'll send you. No, choose the ball and I'll send you to your mother, which means he was going to kill her. Choose the sword and you walk the death path with me. And the kid chose the sword. And so, but now like he's 3 years old, he's helping his dad ambush people that he's going to kill. So it grows. And I think just one more thing to add about Japanese comics is I love that they do that. So like the story starts kind of one way and people grow and change. And then that allows the story to grow and change too. So it's not about this man on the path. Now it's about this man and the son. Now the son plays, he's a whole new character that you can follow. And I really like that about the story behind it. So
nice. Carl, you watch The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah. What did you have like a favorite character?
Cool.
Baby Yoda. Fan favorite. People are really into Baby Yoda. Did you watch it?
I thought it was awesome. I had a great time. I binge watched through that whole thing. I loved it. I thought it was very good. Right now, I just thought it was a wonderful show, and now they've got the behind the scenes thing going on for the Mandalorian as well, right?
Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet, but I'm definitely interested in that and eagerly anticipating season 2.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was not a Star Wars fan. I was never into Star Wars, wasn't into Star Trek, just nothing like that. I wasn't a big sci-fi guy. My little guys, I have 2 kids. I have a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they fell in love with Star Wars. And it's interesting because it wasn't because of me, and my wife isn't into that either. They just gravitated towards it, and it was wonderful. So because of them, I've gotten to kind of go on this whole journey together where we're watching Star Wars together and kind of following the whole story. So that's been really cool. And my little guy, that's 5, he maybe everybody's gonna be like, wow, Anthony's showing something to a kid that should not be watching The Mandalorian, but look, he loves The Mandalorian. He loves Stranger Things. He loves all that kind of stuff. So we have a great time sharing that together. And yeah, but Mandalorian, anybody that hasn't watched it, catch up. It's a really cool show. Very good. It's like a Western in space. It's great.
My first experience with my little guy yesterday. He was gifted from one of his older cousins, like a whole bunch, like a bag full of like older, real beat up Happy Meal toys.
Awesome.
I was laying around her house, and there's a green Power Ranger in there, and so we were. He was talking about Power Rangers. So my wife goes, oh, do you want to watch Power Rangers? And I did the old man plea of there's Power Rangers and there's Voltron, and I said to myself, I'm going to show him the Netflix Voltron because it's more updated animation. And it's flashier. He's totally going to dig it. We watched the first episode from season 1 of Power Rangers and then the first episode from season 1 of Voltron. And he looked me dead in the eye and he went, no Voltron, Daddy, Power Rangers. I want to watch Power Rangers. And my heart just went, oh, yep. Oh, yeah. There we were, And so now we are working our way steadily through the 5 episodes of the Evil Green Ranger. So
such a good series, though. I remember loving that as a kid, and I was kind of like at that weird age though, where I was like slightly too old to like Power Rangers. So I was like, I would hide the fact that I loved Power Rangers, and I would never tell anybody. So like, I would go to school and be like, oh, Power Rangers is the worst. And then as soon as I got home, I'd be like, Red Ranger's way better than the Green Ranger. I don't care. So it was awesome. But
I was a pretty serious purist when Power Rangers came out, and I went, no, Voltron. They're the only ones who can have vehicles transform into bigger robots. No. And I was so like, no Power Rangers ever. And then here I am, sucking it up because the little guy looked me dead in the eye yesterday. He said, no Voltron, Daddy, Power Rangers.
That's right.
Wow.
All right.
That's special.
Wait till he gets to boards.
I'm saying when he gets older, he's going to look for that deeper meaning in the series that you're not going to get with
there's
not.
Carl, do you watch anything retro? Like, I guess it would be considered retro now because we're all old at this point. But
we're old, yes.
I watch like Rocky and Bullwinkle, a little bit of old Voltron, some of the like first Teen Titans, before Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, I love Teen Titans Go.
Oh
you
my
like Teen Go? I used to watch Teen Titans Go when I lived in an apartment and I had to go to the laundromat all the time.
Yeah.
For some reason, they would always have Teen Titans Go on the TV in the laundromat, and I would just sit there and hours of Teen Titans Go. I don't know. Lloyd, what about you, man? Lloyd, are you Team Voltron or Team Power Rangers, or you don't care, or Team both?
No, I'm Team Voltron.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I did watch the first 2 seasons of Power Rangers. I mean, I was right in high school, I think, or maybe high school. So I was into it. But I mean, I grew up on Voltron, man. So Voltron, I'm definitely a loyalist to Voltron. I actually like the Netflix Voltron series a lot.
So you did a great job. I have my original Hunk action figure from when I was a kid, with like a bunch of the yellow paint chipping off, and then I have the Black Lion separate.
Ooh.
I still have the Black Lion, but he's missing one of the red wings.
Nice.
I learned what a garage sale was when I was younger than Carl. I was watching TV and asked my mom why she's dragging all my toys out into the driveway, and she said, "Oh, we're having a garage sale," and I was like, "Oh, is that like playing outside?" And my mom's like, kind of like playing outside. And the next thing I know, people will come up and I'll give you 50 cents for that. My mom goes, sold. And I'm like, where are they going with my Thundercats? All my
Oh, no.
That lady just took all my Thundercats for like $5.
Tragic.
Like, well, heartbreaking. Terrible.
That is heartbreaking.
Your parents.
I wish they would redo Thundercats. That'd be cool.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm excited for this Kevin Smith He-Man thing that they were talking about.
Yes.
I think that'll be rad.
He-Man is a property, man. I feel like people have really tried to recapture that magic for years, and it's just never the same. And I really hope that they're able to do something cool with it. And look, I'm sure Kevin Smith will write something fun and interesting. I'm interested to see what the animation style is like for it. I want it to be good. It's funny because it's like one of those things, like with the Rocketeer, even it's like people love it, but do they really love it enough to commit like buying a whole series or watching a whole show of it? You know what I mean? So I'm very interested to see how something like that does.
Well, the old episodes hold up. I watched some of the original He-Man episodes, and I mean, they're still. It's cool, man. You watch some stuff that when you watch it as a kid, I guess you're watching it through rose-colored glasses, and you just think it's like the best thing ever. And then you watch it as an adult, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know about this." But He-Man was actually really good. And then at the end, I totally forgot that they do the little like the PSA at the end of it with it. Oh,
doesn't it?
What you say? Yeah, he's like, oh, you got to stick up for your friends because your friends are who look out for you. And oh man, like those little PSAs at the end were so good.
I love that kind of stuff. I was a big Ghostbusters guy growing up, so I love the real Ghostbusters. That was my thing that I was really into, was Ghostbusters as a kid. And then I moved into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but
graduated to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, then I got converted into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I remember like the toys for Ghostbusters. I was in love with. I loved my toys from that, and I don't know what happened to them. I have no idea where they are at this point in time. I know that we never got rid of them. They never got thrown away. I just don't know where they are. So I need to do some attic searching when I go see my parents next time, and hopefully I can find them hidden away somewhere.
That's a treasure trove that is just hanging out somewhere in your house. That's great.
And then like Walmart's re-releasing all the real Ghostbusters figures. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
But like the actual, they look exactly the same. So I literally, it's so sad to say, I've been waiting since I was a little kid for those to come back, and I can't wait.
Speaking about He-Man, I interviewed Alan Oppenheimer. He played Skeletor, and he actually did my voicemail.
Nice.
As Skeletor.
Carl, do you collect action figures at all?
Oh, that's cool.
A little less now, but I used to a lot.
What did you collect when you collected action figures?
Just anything I could really get. Marvel action figures, DC action figures.
Any favorite characters or any standout? Spider-Man. I know a guy who does a podcast who's like Green Arrow obsessed and has every Green Arrow action figure, statue, Black Canary. If he sees it and he doesn't have it, he has to own it. And it's like.
And I remember always watching this show called Toy Hunter, I think it was called.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We've got some comments from the fans. Neil Anchek says we are his favorite comic shop, hands down. Neil actually goes back to the old Jeff played music in punk bands days.
Oh, cool.
So I've known Neil for a while. Thanks, Neil. We've also got Howie Levy, who I know is a big Power Rangers fan, who wrote nothing about Power Rangers. So I think he was intentionally keeping us silent on that one. But he wanted to know if anybody checked out the new Thundercats Roar. He said he watched one episode and he just couldn't get past that. And you saw it?
I've watched it, man. I've watched a few of them. My kids watch Cartoon Network a lot. We actually got rid of cable, so everything we watch is all through stuff now. So it's great. So we watched the Cartoon Network app, and we watched the Thundercats Roar, I guess it's called. And it's I don't care about like the weird animation style. I just don't think that the show's very good. I think I like kind of strange things that I don't know if they've really gotten their footing yet of what exactly they want to be, and I think that they just need to kind of keep on searching a little bit. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm also up for everybody trying out different things too. I remember there was a big uproar of, oh, why does Thundercats look like this? Why are they doing? Man, your series still exists. Go watch it. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like let people try different things.
That was kind of like when they redid the Thundercats in like that manga style.
Yeah.
It was like a short season, and people got into an uproar. But then, I mean, that wasn't that great either. But they tried. They took the swing.
I always feel bad saying something's not like good. I always feel like that's not a good criticism, and so that's weak on my part to say that because there's people that really do work hard. So that's why I think it's better to say, yeah, they haven't found their footing yet. They're still searching a little bit, at least in my opinion. If they hear it, they'll say, man, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, man, but that's my opinion.
Just answering Jessica's comment about the voicemail, I'll try and add it to my site as like a small little article later.
I was just gonna get to that one. I was gonna see if we could hear your voicemail on the air, but All right, so that's it. You all heard it for your first. Check out carlscomics.com, and you'll get to hear Alan Oppenheimer's Skeletor voice. Where do we point at?
There's the Eastside Mags box.
Oh, yes. You can go to carlscomics.com to listen to Alan Oppenheimer recorded Carl's voicemail message. That's pretty rad, actually. I didn't even think about that. Next time I'm at a show, when cons resume and there's voice actors there, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start trying to get some of these voice actors, see how much they want for to record something using my voicemail. Nice. Looks like we lost.
Put your hand underneath the block, so this way it looks like you're holding it up.
He's throwing it at us.
Yeah, we're just checking coordination. That's all we're doing right now.
If you hear something out of your left ear, raise your right hand. Do they still do that? Hearing tests?
I used to love those hearing tests in school and like all that kind of stuff because it meant that I didn't have to be in class.
Yeah, I would volunteer for lice checks. When you go through your hair with the pencil. It was like a scalp massage when you were in school. The way the nurse would drag that number 2 pencil through your hair, and I would like, I think you're gonna check me again, and I was just there like, I could fall asleep like this. Carl, do they still do that?
I don't think we ever really did the nurse at my elementary school would just do a quick run through of your hair, but she would never really do like scrape your head with a pencil or anything.
See, you kids today are missing out, man. That's what's up. Letting the nurse scratch your head with a number 2 pencil. There's probably SAT answers back here somewhere. You would know if it was on Anthony's head for sure.
Oh, yeah, very easily, and everybody would want to sit behind me to cheat. It would be great. Very easy to read. So.
Cool. Howie Levy says he's very jealous of your voicemail, Carl. He was a huge He-Man fan back in the day. So we got some jealous parties out there, but that's all right. We're gonna get Howie we're gonna introduce him to some cool voice actors at the next con. We'll look out for him, right?
Do you miss?
I don't know if anyone will get this reference, but Howard, I've come to bargain.
I mean, I got the reference. Did you get the reference, Ant?
No.
It's from the Doctor Strange movie.
I'm sorry, guys. That's the other thing is I don't watch. Here's another little secret for me. I don't watch superhero movies. Very, very rarely do I watch superhero movies.
You run a comic book school.
Yeah, I'm very busy running the school. No, in all seriousness, my life, everything about my life revolves around comics. You know, you got to think about it. It's like everything I do is somehow comic related. So at the end of the day, I like to take a little bit of a break, escape in another way, and maybe not watch something comic related. I mean, look, I'll see certain films, but unless it's characters that I really, really like, you know, I just don't have that sort of love for it. Like I just saw Avengers Endgame that I just skipped to the ending and I watched that. I was like, oh, that's cool. That was great. It was great. Really enjoyed it.
I don't think I have met anybody since Endgame has come out who, I mean, I could probably count on one hand how many people said Endgame was terrible and they want their 3 hours back. Thousands of people, and I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Thousands of people said that they loved it. You were to date the only person I know who said that they watched it and fast forwarded to the end.
Not because it was bad or anything. I'm sure it was great, but I just wanted to see, you know, spoiler alert, earmuff everybody. I just wanted to see Captain America pick up, you know, Thor's hammer and fight Thanos. That's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, that was a pretty epic moment.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Carl, what was your favorite part, Carl?
It was when Captain America and Thor were both fighting like Thanos or someone, and Thor picked up and Captain America picked up Stormbreaker and Thor picked up Mjolnir. Then Thor said, no, you get the little one.
That was a good exchange right there too. I dug that. I think for me, let's see, Endgame. Oof, there were a lot of good moments. I think I like the stuff with Ant-Man referencing Back to the Future for the entire time heist thing. Like every time they're talking about having to go back and get these stones, Ant-Man just seems to be pulling out all these like time travel movie references. So you're telling me Back to the Future is bullshit? Like, yes, dude, that's exactly what they're telling you. But I thought those were some pretty cool exchanges too.
I love
the next time I see the Russo brothers, I'm telling on you for not liking their movie.
I love everybody's movies. They're all wonderful. No, I liked the part at the end because they had the time machine van, right?
Yeah.
And so I like that, like everything's falling apart around everybody. There's a huge battle going on, and I just love seeing that there's this van that's perfectly placed still, and I'm like, nobody's picked up the van and thrown it yet. Like, how is that van still there? But hey, man, who am I criticize anything? It's everybody. I just want to make sure that everybody feels happy right now. It's a beautiful movie. It's lovely. My heart.
He just doesn't want to be in trouble with the Russo brothers.
No. Honestly, I really did like what I saw. I thought it was very cool. And you know, I have to say that when they are fighting though, and then like all the portals start opening up behind Captain America, and all the characters started showing, like I got chills from that, and it like made me so excited to see the potential of what comics can be and how they inspire creators to do different things, and you know just how that was so impactful for so many people. And like, you know, we got to remember, man, these comic books that people create, like that's what that's based off of. You know, the characters and the creators involved that created all these people, these characters. that's the potential of what you can do by literally picking up a pencil and moving it across a piece of paper can change the entire world. And I think that that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I like what you said about that scene, especially because to me, that was what a comic book movie
Yes.
should be. Like, that's a comic book moment in a movie, which,
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a guy who swings from buildings and shoots web from his wrist, or a guy who was frozen in ice for 70 years and comes back and, you know, is the same age as when he went in. And, you know, yeah, sure, like a lot of the stuff, it's all comic booky stuff, but like, when you read like an event story, and either whether it's Marvel or DC, or, you know, it doesn't matter what publisher it is, but when you get to that like final battle scene that you know is going to be in that like second to last issue, or the right in the beginning of that last issue, those portals opening up and all those reinforcements just marching out, you know, you've got the one guy standing against an army of people, an army of monsters who are trying to take away everything he loves, and he just refuses to lay down. But then the portals open up, and all the backup he could ever want, and then some, just come marching through. I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now. That's like a real comic book moment that those guys managed to completely pull off on a real screen with real people and real portals. I believe that really happened with all my heart. No, that we don't. Carl,
It was real.
he doesn't think that really happened. No. You didn't see CNN the next day, dude? CNN had it. It was all over CNN. There were portals opening up in upstate New York, and I mean, I thought for sure we could have seen it from Jersey, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah, I thought that was like a perfectly translated from like a comic book to the screen.
Very.
Well, since we've got a few minutes left,
Sure.
and we've talked about, you mentioned the drawing classes. What else is the as the owner of the Kubert School, the famed Joe Kubert? It's been a long day. My mouth isn't working the way it should. The famed Joe Kubert School. What else have you guys got in the tank that you want people to be aware of?
Let's see. I mean, we've done a lot of really incredible things this past year that I'm really proud of. We've created whole new master classes with Lee Weeks. We've had Klaus Jansen. I mean, we've had Mike McCone, Joe Prado, Maria Sinapo. So, I mean, international artists coming out to the school and teaching master classes. That's been incredible. We've also worked up a thing that's fantastic with DC Comics, where we have access to their editors, and we're able to get a script specifically from DC for our students to work from, a Batman specific script. And that's what they use for their portfolio reviews. We usually line up about 10 to 14 companies every single year, that comic industry and outside of that, to come out to the school to review students' portfolios and cherry pick and hopefully hire them. So we were still doing that. We've even launched, I mean, I will say the one positive that has come from this whole thing is that we were able to develop an online program. The Kubert School for years never had an online program. So out of this, we were able to kind of really push forward and create that. So now we have an online studies program that's available to the general public all around the world. We launched that in April, so earlier this month. It sold out in under 3 hours. We had to do a second session that sold out immediately. And then we're going to be launching some summer sessions as well. And then we have some incredible announcements coming up with that too. We also did an art gallery for the first time ever in the history of the school. So we had a wonderful presentation with that and had people come on out. We were hoping to be able to do one with the students that were graduating this year, but unfortunately, due to the current situation that we all find ourselves in, we were unable to do that. But we are looking forward to being able to do something once we can get back to some semblance of normalcy, because that would be a wonderful thing. But look, we're really pushing hard. We want to make sure that the students are getting the best education possible that they can get in cartoon and graphic art, specifically narrative art, because that's what comics are all about. And if you can't tell a story with the art, then you're not doing your job. So we're really pushing hard. We've brought in fantastic new instructors, and we're going to continue to do so. and just work really, really hard to make sure that these kids are getting the best education that they can get. So if anybody ever wants any information on the Kubert School, make sure you visit www.kubertschool.edu. Also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all over social media. We're everywhere. And like Jeff was talking about before, every Saturday morning we have free drawing classes all throughout April and all through May. And then we also have wonderful interviews. I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, Jeff, with some incredible guests. We just had Klaus Jansen on yesterday. We had Shane Davis, and then we had Mark Chiarello as well. And next week we'll have some additional guests that we're looking forward to announcing as well. So thanks. Look, we're working hard. That's all I can tell you is we're really working hard over there.
Sounds fun.
I feel like Anthony Mackie, and you're Captain America, and I'm wondering if you just came up with all that off the top of your head, or did you like script that out beforehand?
Right off the top of my head. Good to
Oh
go.
my God! Oh, this guy is amazing, Anthony Marques. You are amazing. I don't understand how you look like a completely well put together human being and running a comic shop, an entire art school. You've got a family with kids. I just had a second kid, and I don't know what day it is. I'm lucky I know which way is up and which way is down. That's all I know.
First off, congratulations again on the second one. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. I know. I worked really hard on that one. I mean,
that changes the dynamic. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm sure that you've already seen it, but it definitely changes the dynamic. And the number 2 is very interesting. Seriously, that's number 1 is your family, man. So you're doing great. That's all that matters. But don't pretend. You're very put together, and you always have wonderful things. So.
I look haggard. I look like Robin Williams in Jumanji. Like, what year is it?
Robin Williams in Jumanji. That's great.
Oh, no. Oh, and this hair is all over the place.
I wish I had hair to be all over the place. Yeah.
Carl, talk to me about carlscomics.com. What have we got? Do we have stuff coming up? I know.
Yeah. We're gonna work on some videos. I'm working on people like Babs Tarr, Gail Simone,
nice.
Jander Sema, and yeah. So we hope to put out a lot more content.
Awesome, man. And you want to give us I said it a couple of times, but I like it when you say it. You say it with a little bit more flair than I do. Where can people find all of this awesome comic book related content that you yourself put together?
At www.carlscomics.com.
That's it right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Comics is spelled with an X, COMIX.
Oh, man. He nails that. Did you hear that, Anthony? The way he just punches it home?
He does. Look, Carl, you do great things, though. I mean, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. I mean, you gather a lot of comics together, you ship them out to a lot of places, and you help a lot of people. So anybody watching, if you're not familiar with Carl, you need to check out carlscomics.com because he does a really great thing for a lot of people, and you can really help him make a difference in a lot of people's lives. So be sure to check that out.
I'm going to tell you the top 2 things about Carl that make that website worthwhile. Just the top 2 things. Number 1, this guy ships comics to armed forces all over the country.
And speaking about that, we just recently donated, before the pandemic all happened, our 45,000th comic book.
That's incredible.
Oh, 45,000.
And we have another 7,000 ready to donate.
Carl, what you're doing, man, I mean, I don't know any armed forces overseas personally. I could only imagine what it's like to be so far from home in such a tumultuous atmosphere and a tumultuous environment, and then to be able to hold a piece of your home in your hands, even for 15 minutes, just to read it and flip through. I'm sure those men and women are like over the moon grateful to you for taking the time to put all that together, box it up, bring it to the Army base. I mean, that's amazing. And you got communication from Steve Ditko?
Yep.
Come on. Real?
We had a full letter correspondence. It was really amazing.
No curse words. There were no curse words in there?
Nope.
Wow, you might be the only person with like a rated G letter. No expletives at all. That's
In
amazing.
the final litter, to be fair, he was a little grouchy, but overall, he was really nice.
That's awesome. Steve Ditko, man.
Hey, cherish that memory, man. That's a fantastic thing that you're going to want to tell people for a long time. So I hope you frame those letters up and have them hanging up in your room or in your house somewhere.
Yeah, man. Hold on to those. That's something you're going to want to hold on for a lifetime and then some.
Mhm.
They're in my Spider-Man collection right now.
Where a suitable place for them. I concur. That is an appropriate place for some Steve Ditko letters. All right, guys. We have hit our time limit. Is there anything else you guys want to shout out or name drop or mention before we go?
No, I just want to say
Mags in the Kubert school.
Oh, thanks, man. I just want to say thanks again, Jeff, so much for having us on today. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you letting us join in and talk about what we've got going on in our world. And I know it's busy right now for everybody, but just make sure that you're all staying safe, staying healthy, and hopefully we'll all get through this together. And I look forward to seeing everybody on the flip side.
Definitely. And I know me and everybody here at Eastside Mags is looking forward to getting back to hanging out with customers in the shop, seeing you guys at conventions and coming to see you guys where you work. And oh man, all the ideas in my head could just filter out appropriately onto a piece of paper. I think we're definitely going to try to make up for all of this in 2021 for sure, because
we'll get through this all. We're all going to come back bigger, better, and stronger. So
all this pent up creativity we got to find an outlet for it. It's got to come out, and it's going to be great.
Yep.
So, thank you guys for taking some time out to chat with me and chat with everybody else here on social media. And I'll do one last drop. Eastside Mags in Montclair, New Jersey. We are open from 10 to 5 every day except for Monday. Curbside pickup or shipping services. Orders over $50 ship free. Check out our website. We've got an awesome web store. We too have a Saturday morning drawing class that's not free, but we've got so you check it out. It's taught by a Kubert alum, Bridget Allenson, who is also a graphic designer, an amazing artist, and a model human being. She is a model human being for sure. We also do online Dungeons and Dragons. We've got a lot of other stuff going on. Some stuff had to get canceled, well, postponed, but we'll get back to it sooner than you know. And thank you so much for taking your time to come watch. This is We Are the Mags, episode 3, with the former Lloyd Briggery, who couldn't get his computer to work right, which is okay. Anthony Marques and Carl's Comics, the reigning king of comic books.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.